Might want to put this off to next month, let y'all take drive by and see what the problem is, about the best solution to that. But, yes, that was one thing, somebody wanted to put on the agenda tonight, and I brought that up. Okay, now we got 3 public hearings scheduled for tonight, so I'm gonna let Joey take it up from here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. The public hearings we have for the night, the first 2 involve rezonings and variance requests. Procedure will follow is I'll call out the requests, and then ask the applicant to come forward and explain to the council the reason for the requests. I will then call for those who are here to speak in favor. If that is a reason that you're here tonight, that would be your opportunity to speak. I will then ask for those who are here to speak in opposition to the request. If that is a reason you're here tonight, that would be your opportunity to speak. I will then ask the applicant to come back forward and address any of the comments in opposition to the request. The third item that's listed as a public hearing is accurate, but that is an appeal in connection with your sign ordinance, and that matter will be addressed, and we'll also provide an opportunity for a public hearing, but it's more in the nature of an appeal hearing than a variance. The first item on for hearing is a matter that the Planning Commission recommended be rescheduled to December 2nd and December 15. We understand the applicant intends to revise the application and or the site plan. However, we had already advertised for a public hearing, so I'll go ahead and announce for the public hearing to see if anybody came to this meeting for that purpose. This is property located at 6150 Athens Street here in Lula, Hall County tax parcel 09071002026. The Revive Land Group LLC seeks to rezone property that consists of 32.506 acres from agricultural to planned residential development to develop up to 100 lots and amenities consisting of trails, a park, a community area, a pool, a cabana, and a dog park, and seeks 2 variances: 1 to reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 7.5 feet, and 2 to encroach upon the exterior perimeter buffer to grade and replant the buffer. Is the applicant present?
He is not.
I think we understood that the applicant would not be present based upon the Planning Commission recommendation. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Anyone to speak in favor? Did anyone come here tonight to speak in opposition to this request? Any opposition? Mr. Mayor, then I'll declare that public hearing closed.
Thank you, Joey.
Second public hearing is for property located at 5563 and 5564 Lewallen Circle in Lula, Hall County tax parcel 15007A 4083 and tax parcel 15007A 000103. The City of Lula seeks to rezone 32.57 acres from M1 light industrial to agricultural, and 1.25 acres from light industrial to low density residential to correct the city zoning map. I think either Frank or Jerry will be presenting the request, and they've also submitted a recommendation.
You have the staff report in front of you. The property was initially annexed in the city back in 2002. The initial request for annexation did not involve the entire parcel, yet when the action taken by the council was on the entire parcel and the annexation was for the entire parcel. It went from A1 in Hall County and stayed as an agricultural parcel in the city of Lula. So that was in 2002. In 2004, we amended parts of our zoning map, and at that time we drew straight lines. So a portion of the property then became light industrial MI, And then we came back 2 years later, in 2007, which is the current zoning map in the back, and this time we followed the property lines. So the entire parcels became MI at that time. So that's the process of how we got there. Obviously, through the times, Lewallen Circle has, that portion of Lewallen Circle has been continued to used as a small farm, basically hay and ground cover, and then on the small part that belongs to Jeff. Couldn't pull it out there. They grow chicken eggs there for sale. So, going through the analysis for the rezoning, even though the city's the applicant, we answered all 18 questions. We looked at the history of the event, what's currently going on the property. The planning commission heard this. They made a recommendation to you, which is on the bottom of page 5. Basically, they recommend that the they recommended that you go ahead and approve the the rezoning of the 1.25 acre parcel located at 5664 Lewallen Circle to R4, which is the closest property designation, zoning designation to what they're using. And that would be less than the intensive than the MI, and certainly since it doesn't have 5 acres, wouldn't be appropriate to A2. The second recommendation they made to you is to table the rezoning request on the remaining property, the larger parcel, until such time as the administrator and the family members present a plat of the final proposed division, so we can verify whether agriculture would be the most appropriate zoning district for all parcels. And I'll be glad to answer questions.
Thank you. Is anyone here to speak in favor of this request? Anyone here to speak in favor? Is anyone here to speak against the
Well, I'd
request?
like to speak in the middle of it.
Yes, sir.
So
Anyone here to speak in the middle of this?
Yeah, that's me. Because as being on the, Development Authority, we need industrial land. We need industrial land. But on the other part of it, I agree with the city correcting mistakes that it made on the zoning of properties around here. And y'all know where I'm going with this, on our subdivisions, that's what y'all need to fix. Y'all up there can fix it in a minute. That's all it takes y'all is a minute to fix what's happened with these subdivisions on our setbacks. So y'all do need to look at the fact though, this needs to be corrected, things like this needs to be corrected. But there's other things that need to be corrected that's actually more important than this. And that's all the people are just, they're in bliss. They don't know they lost their property. 95% of the people don't realize they lost their property to setbacks. So it does need corrected, but y'all also need to look at, we need industrial space for the Development Authority. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may make one statement to support. The future land use was never changed. So it was agriculture at the time. When we changed from future land use to character areas around 2007, 2008, when the state changed those, it has retained its agricultural designation, future designation. So that was one of the factors that led into that, is because the area, like Robert says, is the Development Authority would like to see more industrial, but we never changed the character area to reflect that. So the latest comprehensive plan still has it as an agricultural area.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of the request? Anyone here to speak against the request? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this request? And I'll declare that public hearing closed. The third public hearing on for tonight is a variance or appeal request submitted by ZK Property Investments LLC as requested a sign ordinance variant for the new gas station being built at the southwestern intersection of Belton Bridge Road and SR 365. It's property located at 6825 Belton Bridge Road, identified as Hall County Tax Parcel 09064-4059. The applicant requests the installation of a 25-foot stanchion sign in place of 2 monument signs. Is the applicant or appellant would come up, please, sir?
Hello, my name is Charles Lorenz. Do I need to give addresses? 500 Bay Grove Road, Loganville, Georgia. Little parts from here. Thank you. The reason we're asking for the variance is because basically there's a Department of Transportation right-of-way, and that is about 300 some odd feet from 365 over to where the gas station sits. The gas station will be sitting quite at a lower elevation. So the 10-foot monument signs would not be seen from 365 at all. Basically, what we're suggesting is to forego the 2 monument signs and go with the one sign being at 25 feet. Will roughly be at that 10-foot mark where you'll be able to see the sign off of 365.
Questions from council? Anybody else you want us to hear from, sir?
That's it.
Anybody here to speak in favor of this request? Is anybody here to speak in opposition to this request?
Robert Grizzle, 61 in Emerald Way. I think before that decision is made, they are working with the DOT, I'm sure, on grading down that hill between them and the highway. I think we need to let the DOT, because the DOT has been allowing everybody else up and down 365 to grade it down to street level. Because if they get to grade it down to street level, then the sign can be brought down, because most everywhere in every city now, everywhere, they're not letting them put up tall signs. It's monument signs. And you know, that's said to happen down at Dollar General, Waffle House. They don't need to start going back up in the air like they were. They need to stay low, but I get their point. If they can't get that graded down, then they do need a taller sign. But they probably can. They let the other owner cut the trees off of it. So it just needs to run the course of the DOT, and they can apply and have that big hill cut down and bring it down to road level so you will see it better. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here to speak in opposition to the request? Anyone else to speak in opposition? Does the applicant have any response to the comments in opposition to the request?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Again, is the amount of footage between 365 and the road and the gas station itself. That's not saying that the DOT is going to keep that area absolutely pristine and clean. I'm not sure at what point in time DOT, if in fact they are going to remove the hill, which would keep us from being able to get these signs seen. But again, you're 300 some odd feet away. That would be it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll declare this public hearing closed. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Jody. Next item on the agenda is approve the minutes for September 8th and September 15th meetings. Everybody look at the roll, any changes to make to them? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Yes. The minutes.
I'll second the.
We didn't do the agenda.
We didn't do that, I skipped that before.
You skipped the agenda.
Okay.
Sorry.
We don't wanna do that. Okay, since you had made a motion to approve the agenda, let's. Shouldn't you second?
I make a
Tony,
motion that we approve the
Tony.
agenda.
Tony is seconded. Judas.
We're gonna use that as the agenda. Okay.
Let's do the agenda. Let's do,
So Juliet and Tony, I got that. Okay.
she called me on it.
Sorry, I questioned.
No changes to the agenda.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Now we have an agenda. Now then, let's look at the minutes of the last 2 months.
Mayor, we had, and traditionally, after we did the public hearings, we would have separate agenda items for each of the requests. Now that you've approved the agenda, the items are now before you. We have concluded the public hearings with the exception of the staff report on the signed appeal request.
It's not on there.
Then those items would now be on your agenda for voting.
All right, before we get the minutes in, let's address the public hearings. All right. The first public hearing is the one that Planning Commission recommended tabling and after asked to table to October, that's of December, as I understand it.
Yes, sir.
What's the council want to do about that?
I recommend we table as recommended by staff and planning commission.
I second.
Motion made by Tony, second by Chris to table the public hearing for the revived land group. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay. Now
I'm
then,
gonna recuse myself on this one. I don't have any financial interest, but that is my cousin's. My dad used to own part of this property. I'm gonna recuse myself. Number 2.
okay. The next public hearing was for the rezoning request for 2 parcels on Lewallen Circle. One being 1.25 acres, 13.57 acres. Any discussion about that request?
If we go along with what the planning commission recommended, do we need to do it in 2 separate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I make a motion that we rezone the 1.25 acres from M1 to R4 on Lewallen Circle.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Denise, second by Juliet, to rezone the 1.25 acres to R4. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Okay. All right, now the next parcel.
And I'll make a motion to, table the rezoning of 32.57 acres on Lewallen Circle from M1 to Ag until we have the final plats in possession.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Denise, second by Juliet, to table rezone the 32.57 acres on Lewallen Circle. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. Okay. And one more. And the other one is variance request or what you call it,
Appeal.
appeal. To change this, get a sign ordinance variance at the gas station, Belton Bridge Road, 365, to replace the 2 monument signs with a thank you sign. What's your opinions? As I understand, you're trying to open it next month, is that?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Initially, it was this month.
Yes.
They've pushed to next month.
Get your sign.
And then the one other comment to address Robert's question on GDOT. The engineers reported GDOT did not approve their plan to try to take that grade down. So they did make an application with GDOT, but it was not approved.
So they need to sign.
I'm surprised with everything.
I mean, but I figured they'd never take it down. But they're gonna have to take it down, they're wide the road. So, hey, it looks like they can make them take it down,
I agree with you.
but it's gonna go.
Okay. Anybody got anything on discuss about it?
But from the the actual sign itself is just the standard BP signs that you
Yes,
see.
you have
Yeah, that's what I
all
want.
the handouts for the standard
Okay.
sign, but.
Just like 152, is that correct?
Do what?
It's just like 152, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be very similar to that, yes.
It won't be a size of circle, okay, a circle inside.
No, I mean,
There's a BP station there too, though.
Yeah, their sign's higher, the circle M's higher.
I make,
Go ahead.
go ahead, no, you're gonna.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the variance, raising it to the 25-foot stanchion sign in place of the 2 monument signs.
Second that.
Motion by Chris, second by Garnet, to approve the monument sign, I mean, the stanchion sign to replace the monument signs. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Now then, if I get back on track now, I'll be fine. Okay, now then the minutes. Down here, Mr. Over. Anybody see a change in the minutes on make? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented from
Second.
September 8th and September 15th.
Second.
Motion made by Tony, second by Chris, to approve the minutes as written. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Thank y'all for bearing with me.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is yard of month for Halloween and fall. And here they are. The next- In District One, we've got 5967 Tune Street. District Two, we've got 5513 Hood Street. In District Three, we've got 6435 Narramore Way. In District Four, we got 6306 7th Street. In District Five, we got 124 Brookside Drive. Congratulations to all y'all, there'll be $100 credit for your utility bill. Okay, lift station maintenance. Got it fixed yet?
excuse me?
We got it fixed yet?
We did meet with the church again. They have not voted at this moment. They agreed that that would be a good site. They projected to be about 2 weeks before they vote. They will request, and we'll talk about this further, but they would like to entertain some type of remuneration for the easement. And then we'll discuss that in executive session.
So we don't need to do anything about that right now, then, right?
Or do we need a motion to table it, Joey?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, next thing is rollback. Who's supposed to explain this one?
Basically, you've got the handouts, we're trying to roll back the taxes as you've had for many, many years to zero, so that there's no property tax. So within Banks County, the millage rate equivalent is 3.189 mils based on your lost collections that we had there. And in Hall County, the lost collections is equivalent of what would be 6.034 mils. So what we're trying to do on the PT 38s is to bring those all back to zero. So basically it's an offset of what the millage rate would be versus what the loss generated and to bring it to zero. And you have those two forms in front of you, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Mayor, I know this, there's a lot of administrative work here, and Frank's done a good job of crunching the numbers. But your local option sales tax, which is commonly referenced as loss, is a sales tax that the legislature, the statute requires that the amount collected be used to offset property taxes. So to do that, they require the city to turn in what the form, the PT 38 form, to show that we did the calculations and it rolled back to zero. That's a different sales tax than what you get for special purpose local option sales tax or SPLOST, which will be voted on in Hall County on November the 4th, which can only be used for limited projects, capital projects. And that is different than a sales tax that is a transportation SPLOST, which is called a T-SPLOST, which is to be used only for transportation purposes. And that is also different than what is called an E-LOST, or an election local option sales tax, which can only be used by schools. We have nothing to do with that, school board calls that. So as to this particular sales tax, referenced as lost, we are required as a city to roll that amount back against any property taxes that are imposed. So annually, we fill out this form, and so that's the information that you've received over the last couple of weeks.
Legislature gives another one this year too, but lost.
Yes, that's right, which is a floating local option sales tax that is also used to reduce property taxes, but we don't have a FLOST yet presented in Hall County or Banks County.
So just for clarification, Frank,
Banks County, it's voting. Did the floss on there ballot?
If there's a FLOST on their ballot, I know that y'all had a couple of meetings. I don't know if they put that on their ballot for this November.
I was thinking they had later on.
We haven't received any feedback from them after those meetings.
That's like I heard they're thinking about that. Okay. Now, what we want to do, I need a motion to roll back the property tax millage rate to zero for Banks County and Hall County. Can I do it in one motion, or can it?
We did one, it's ours, it's Lula's.
Did you have a question?
yeah, just for clarification, the stated millage for operations, according to the PT form, would be, Banks County at 3.189 mils
Yes, sir.
is what it would have taken. And for Hall County, we would have required to operate the gross millage for maintenance and operations of a millage of 6.034. And so what we're now proposing is that in lieu of the 3.189 in Banks and 6.034 in Hall, that we roll those both back to zero and not collect that property tax.
Correct.
And that's the motion I need. Was that it?
I can make that motion, just wanted to clarify. So, I make a motion that, the council go ahead and approve the rollback from the, stated, millage on PT, is it PT 04?
PT 38.
PT 38, that we roll back the, 3.189, that is listed for Banks County, and roll back the 6.034 mils, as listed for Hall County, to a total mill of zero, so that we would not be collecting any property tax.
I'll second.
Motion by Tony, eloquent made the, and second by Denise. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. In just a minute, folks. I like this word. I'm not a day, like you did.
Okay.
I went through a good day, I guess need to day, since we did good.
Thank you.
Okay, take care of that problem. That's a good problem now. Okay, we're about down to citizen comments again. Put y'all all asleep already?
On behalf of the Historical Society of Lula, Belton, Georgia, we wanted to thank the City of Lula for continuing to make donations to the Historical Society each year. We wanted to go ahead and present the gold sponsorship for this year for the donation that the council did approve.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Everybody see it? Anybody else? Thank y'all. I'm sure we have plenty behind that. I'm sure we'll find plenty behind that, can't we?
Yes.
We have walls everywhere. Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor, this is not something to be addressed like just to the council. This is an invitation. I'm sorry, Gwen. An invitation, you know that it's become a tradition that the Little Ladies has a community meal to recognize veterans. We have this at the depot. It's been approved, thank you, council, for many months, when Renee Shockley came forth with asking permission. But I did want to remind you, help us get the word out. This is not just for the veterans. This is everybody in the community that would like to come. It's a free community meal. We keep it simple. It's at the depot. Mark your calendar for November the 8th, 12 o'clock to 2 p.m. And this is just an opportunity for recognition and a thank you to our veterans. But it's a community meal. We all seem to like the community meals that we've had here lately. This will just be a hot dog luncheon, but a lot of fun, and this is important that I think we recognize the veterans. So a few years ago, we started this tradition, and we wanted to continue it. So please help us. A lot of times there's confusion, like people will think, well, I'm not a veteran, I'm not really invited. Please get the word out that yes, you are, because it gives you an opportunity to come that day to express your thanks to those veterans. So thank you. I would appreciate your help.
Marilyn, did you get your flowers made up for that, or
Yes,
do you have some?
we do have.
Can you put one to me
Yes.
digitally, or have one?
I can
Yes.
send it to you.
Can you do?
I can send it. I can also send the one for the November the 11th Veterans Day ceremony at the depot.
We have that in the lobby.
But I can send him the digital one so he can put it on the city's Facebook.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. It's okay. Council time. Tony, let's start with you now.
All right.
You
Short, sweet. No, I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming out tonight and being present to see our public hearings. We certainly appreciate all input, and thank you for those that did speak. That's what we need, and we appreciate all input that we receive. Thank you.
I'm gonna turn it short and sweet. I'm just gonna say thank you for coming out, taking your time to come out and let your voice be heard, because it is important for y'all to speak up and for us to hear how you feel and about what's going on. I wish more people would, and I love that we have the same ones that come, but I wish more would come so that we would have more input instead of the same input all the time. So invite a friend, bring a friend next time.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. Just remind everybody to vote. We've got elections coming up. On the community meal theme, the night of the election, the depot will be open. All candidates and all their supporters. This has not a celebration for whoever wins. Just a get together, and we'll all get the results at the same time, and just kind of show that we don't need elections to divide us. That we can all be one and work for the betterment of Lula. Thanks for coming.
I'd like to thank everyone coming tonight. This crowd sure does look good compared to last week when we had only 4. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you all for coming tonight. Just a a reminder, in addition to the Veterans Day events that are coming up and the election, we still have the trunk or treat at Lula Elementary on Thursday night, starting at 5:30 for the kids. If you want to do a booth, you need to be there about 4 to get set up. But also, just as a reminder, let's everybody, watch out for the kids on Halloween because they're going to be everywhere. So, thank you all again for being here.
I want to remind everybody, Chris already mentioned the voting, advance voting has already taken place, but right now it's at the Civic Center in Gainesville, but, starting Friday, Saturday the 25th, which is this coming Saturday, and then next week, Monday through Friday, we'll be here at City Hall. And we can put the count on, is 4:30, 5:85. And, so everybody need to vote, that's the early voting, voting is election day is November 4th. Our next council meeting, whoops, it was tonight. Got you. Historical Society next Monday night at the Depot at 7 o'clock. Development Authority is next Tuesday, 6 p.m. here. Little Ladies is the 29th at noon and 6:30 at the Depot. Planning Commission is November 7th here at 6 o'clock. There's our event about truck or treat school, also the pumpkins at the park is on Saturday 2 to 4. I remember that. And there was another one I'm trying to remember. It slipped my mind. No, we had an executive session, right? We need.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna have an executive session tonight to discuss some legal, some real estate matters. Y'all welcome to stay, and we're making announcements after the meetings. But I don't expect we're going to make any earth-shattering decisions tonight, but you're welcome to hang around and listen to find out if we do or not. I'll entertain a motion to go to executive session.
Motion to go to executive session.
Second it.
Motion by Julie, yes, second by Glenn, to go to executive session, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Go to executive session. 3 minutes.
Go for it.
Thank y'all for waiting around, if y'all sit down, to let you know what we did, what we're gonna do. Thank y'all. We've been leasing property over next to Lewallen Park for 4 years now. And the good news is we got it. They agreed to our terms, and Tony's got the motion for us.
Right. I make a motion to approve acceptance of property transfer from Georgia Brown Hill to the city of Lula regarding property located at 5930 Maiden Lane. Also as map and parcel number 15006A 0010003A in the amount of $26,710.92.
Second.
Motion made by Tony, seconded by Juliet, to approve the purchase of the property on Maiden Lane at 5930. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. We got it. Passes.
Thank you.
Okay, now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Denise, seconded slowly by Gordon.
I'm supposed to get that.
All opposed say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Time sheets.